There's proof in the Bible that Islam was meant to come after Christianity, and it just pushed me closer and closer to Islam.
Oh, really? Wait, actually, I think I know what you're talking about. You're referring to Matthew 24:11, where Jesus says, "Many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many." That's what you're talking about, right?
Isaiah chapter 42 verse 6 said, "I will keep you and make you to be a covenant for the people and a light to the Gentiles." And this couldn't have been Jesus, because Jesus himself said in Matthew chapter 15 verse 24, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel," meaning the Jews. And the prophet spoken about in the book of Isaiah was sent specifically for the Gentiles, which are non-Jews. And this
Oh, you were actually being serious. Okay, here we go. Isaiah 42 is speaking specifically about Jesus. Here we see God the Father calling Yeshua his servant. God says, "I have put my spirit upon him." Muhammad never had the spirit of God. Muhammad never had the Holy Spirit. In fact, when you go to the Quran, you'll see that even in the Quran, it calls Jesus a spirit from Allah. Not even Muhammad is attributed that title. So whoever the servant was in this chapter was not some random dude coming with a message. This person specifically had to be sent by God and had to have the spirit of God. Furthermore, it talks about miracles that will be performed by this servant. It says that he will open blind eyes. When you go to the New Testament, all across the Gospels, you'll see examples of Jesus performing healing miracles. There's many examples of Jesus healing the blind. For example, we see it here in John chapter 9. Muhammad, on the other hand, never performed a single miracle. He never healed a single person. He couldn't even heal himself when he ate that poisoned food. Isaiah 42 also says, "A bruising reed he will not break, and smoking flax he will not quench. He will bring forth justice for truth." This means that whoever was to be sent would be a man of gentleness. He would not enact violence. We see this is exactly who Jesus is. Jesus heals, he restores, he redeems, he binds it up, he heals. Jesus said, "Turn the other cheek, love your neighbor." Muhammad, on the other hand, was a well-known warlord. He was a man of violence and of war. This is taken directly from the Quran. "Unalive them wherever you come upon them." Let's see what Jesus says to do with your enemies. It says right here, he says, "Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." In Matthew 15, Jesus isn't saying that his message and salvation are not for Gentiles altogether. Jesus was saying that he came for the house of Israel first, and then for the Gentiles, which is exactly what happened. Jesus was sent to the Jews first to bring salvation to the Jews, and then through the Jews and through a Jewish man, Jesus, salvation was spread to the Gentiles. So again, you have no point.
is undeniably clarified even more in verse 11 of chapter 42 in the book of Isaiah. "Let the desert and its cities raise their voices. Let the villages of Kedar cry aloud." Kedar is the second son of Ishmael.
Sorry, that argument is stupid. What? Kedar was a territory in northern Arabia. The verse explains that Kedar will rejoice in the servant or the Messiah, not that it will produce him. This verse quite literally has nothing to do with Ishmael or Muhammad. But if you really want to go there is absolutely zero historical evidence nor genealogies outside of Islamic tradition that confirm that Muhammad was indeed a descendant of Ishmael. This is a lie that was concocted after Muhammad's death. Not even Muhammad himself claimed to be a descendant of Ishmael. This lie was added in order to make Islam seem like an Abrahamic faith so that it would gain more credibility.